Hello, what's up, dudes? Holywatr, Deo Gratis. New album from 2026. This released on Friday, just gone, I believe. I've heard one song, Pure Leaf, track number 3. Their management company actually reached out to me and asked me to check this one out. So I checked it out. Fucking sick song. They're kind of like Periphery, but also like Sleep Token and also like Avenged Sevenfold from that one song. Now, beyond this song, I'm not sure if I've heard anything else from them, but people seem to be receiving this album very, very well. And from what I have heard, the small sample size from Pure Leaf sounds like a very interesting style. This is a band that I've been hearing about for quite some time, but I've just never gotten around to checking them out. No one's ever really put them in front of me in terms of like sending me requests on Twitch, which is usually how I find out about certain bands. But they're by no means a small band. I mean, this band is going on tour with Architects. They have 700,000 monthly listeners, so they're by no means like a small band that's just all of a sudden getting attention. Like, this is a well-established band that has a lot of followers on social media. They have like 130,000 followers on Instagram. They've got like lots of subscribers on YouTube, so they're a established band that I think is starting to maybe go up to that next level with this album. So let's have a listen. Let's give our honest thoughts. 11 songs, 43 minutes. Deo Gratis. Is that Spanish? Gracias. I don't know what language that is. Gratias. I don't think it's Spanish, right? Gracias. I see. I don't know. Anyways, could be just pronunciation thing. Give Me a Show it's probably Latin, right? It's probably Latin. I'm being a bit dumb. Deo Gratias. Let me just check. Okay. Holywatr. It's probably Latin meaning. It's Latin phrase meaning thanks be to God. Okay. I probably should have. Yeah. Okay. Similar to Spanish, but not quite. It is Latin. Okay. Let's go. Give Me a Show. Ooh. Very in a church vibes. Oh yeah. Definitely hearing the Sleep Token vibes already. Gotta get my pen and paper here.
That you wrote me this song. Deep breaths, choking as you lie there. I don't believe we're making, but you're staring back at me. All this blood. I almost believe that these feelings were wrong. Deep breaths, choking as you lie there. I don't believe we're making, but you're staring back at me. Please keep on crashing. Wait for the sound to know you can't break down anymore. Turn up the dial, you plead believe me. I crack the smile and play your death is slow. Give me so very nice that you wrote me this song. Deep red smoking as you lie there. I don't believe in making look but staring back at me. This blind. I almost believe that these feelings were wrong. Deep red smoking as you lie there. I don't believe in making look. I don't believe it.
Le boom, sorry. I was just looking under my desk there. I dropped a pen during the Landon Tours podcast the other day, and it's just been swallowed by the fucking void. I have no idea where it's gone. I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, if it dropped here, it has to be at least in my fucking, you know, in my view path, my vision. How? That was a crazy squeak. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm just perplexed by this. You know when something's like so seems like it should be show. What the fuck is wrong with my speech today? Hold on. It's completely fucking my brain up here. Anyways, it's not here. It's perplexing me. Yeah, interesting song. The one thing that, like, from listening to two songs so far is it's quite refreshing to hear a band that's clearly in the realm of your like modern sexy bands, and it's quite rare to hear a band do this where they are taking that sexy modern approach, but they're still, again, from two songs, seemingly not losing sight of prominent guitar work and technicality. They're not like throwing all of the guitar nuance out the window and just going like, okay, the guitar is going to be used here as purely like an atmospheric layer to maybe make a chorus feel a little bit bigger, you know, or like we have to have the 8-string or 7-string breakdown that is just like boom, 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 and it's all about the vocals. This is all about the vocals, but it's also very guitar driven as well, which is really, really fun. It's like when I heard Pure Leaf for the first time, I had this idea in my head based on the marketing that I've seen from this band before and people describing them as like a Sleep Token-esque band. I just had this idea that they're going to be like a kind of Dayseeker-y band or like a kind of darker Dayseeker band, which is cool. But they're actually a lot more than that from the very little amount of music I've heard from them so far. We'll see as we go. But it's like rather interesting instrumentally. Like it sounds like Periphery in moments. It's proggy, it's genty. But it also has that like Sleep Token-esque, and throw them into the, you know, the other bands that I've mentioned, like your Dayseekers, your Bad Omens, all these kind of like sexy modern bands that are doing that thing. Definitely throw them into that, but they're also like staying quite loyal to, I guess, like keeping it still quite technical and guitar based, which is fun. So let's keep going, see what the rest of the album holds. I'm sure there'll be like loads of different switch ups that I just wasn't expecting, but it's kind of exciting hearing a band doing something like this, because you've heard one of the sexy bands, you've kind of heard them all. But this also seems to have a bit of a backbone thematically as well, which is kind of cool, with the whole like religious themes.
Melted chocolate eyes and thrill. Smile sweet and ever still, but bubbling underneath a fever threatens sleep. How I watch you wake and gasp for air and held you through your night terrors. The cancer crept through your skin. Say me touch your purse and skirt. Should have known the way you left from hell.
This has a little bit of something. A little bit darker. Those dark guitar tones were nice. Some of the note choices. Bright electronic synth. Wow. So interesting. Part of me thinks that like we're kind of at the pinnacle or the peak of this type of music. Obviously over the years we've seen heavy music become a little bit more popular, a little bit more mainstream, because it's blended itself, you know, so seamlessly for the most part with other genres, R&B, pop. But I think over the last, you know, year or so, 2 years, maybe even beyond that, we've really started to hear the almost like final boss of what is probably going to be possible in terms of ideas, with a lot of new bands that are getting quite popular right now. Obviously Sleep Token, Sachi 6 is another example of a band kind of similar to this, where they're blending like the heaviest possible, not the heaviest possible, but like tones wise, like you don't really get much heavier than the tones and the guitars that we're hearing right now. And then we're going like complete opposite end of the spectrum with like R&B style vocals, really pop music-esque vocals, and we're blending them really, really well. And it's been kind of teased out for years. I feel like other bands have tried this along the way, but now we're seeing like bands actually do it really, really well and come out of the woodwork. Like Holywatr, who've not just arrived, they've obviously been around for a while, like I said in the intro, but it's like the final form is seemingly coming to fruition. And it's kind of interesting to see where we go beyond this point, because this will be a sound for a while now. This is going to be the sound where it's like the lowest tuned guitars possible. And I know that there's bands like, you know, I mentioned Dayseeker already who've been doing this, and there's other bands. God, there's so many fucking, like Bad Omens are obviously, you know, doing that as well. I think Bad Omens are doing it probably the best right now, because it's a little bit more experimental and it's not really cookie cutter. This is not cookie cutter at all. But for the longest time, it maybe wasn't as dark as it could possibly be. There's like Thal elements to this as well. It seems like very, very dark. So it's like we're kind of maxing all of our stats out in each direction. And that's what the likes of Sachi 6 feel like, and this feels like, where they're really like pulling the stat bars up in two different directions. They've left none of the middle ground. If you're like imagining, I'm thinking like very, very video game-esque here, of like your stat bars where you just like use all your points to drag the Thal and the darkness to one level, and then all of your points to drag the like light and the poppy and the melody and the soaring, like atmospheric, beautiful, ethereal style vocals. Max them both in each direction, and we're kind of here now. So it feels like we've kind of maxed out on both sides. I'm sure there'll be a band that just does it like completely ridiculous at some point, but that's kind of where we're at. I don't think it can definitely be done in many different ways, but I just feel like we've kind of, people have realized what's really popular: pop music. What's really popular? R&B music. What's also really popular? Heavy as fuck shit. Let's just car crash them together, and this is what we're getting now. Obviously there's different styles of it. Sachi 6 are more like R&B focused, maybe song structure is a little bit more safe. This band is kind of a little bit more proggy, has that Avenged Sevenfold style, that Periphery style as well, with some of the lead guitar work. So it's a little bit like old school feeling at the same time, which is a unique blend. But ultimately the soundscapes, if you're just to like take them apart into two categories, is like as dark as possible, heavy, as bright as possible, as like beautiful and ethereal as possible, as sexy as possible. And it feels like we're kind of maybe at a point where, yeah, these bands are all going to be really popular. Everyone's going to copy them for a while. People are going to get sick of it, and the whole thing collapses, and we go back to just fucking like 5, 7, 8 metalcore riffs. Maybe, we'll see. But it sounds good. I like that song. That one's more up my street than Give Me a Show. I think it's a little bit more to the point for what this is. It's like dark, it's sexy, night drive vibes. Cool song. Let's keep going. Purely, this is really cool. This is quite proggy again, if you haven't heard this song already. Again, I heard this is my first song by these guys, and I wasn't expecting this genty riff. This is very like Periphery, you know? Early Periphery. I was like, wait, this is supposed to be the sexy band? What? This is so like gent nerd stuff. I love this passage here. This vocal passage is amazing. That's so good. It's very Architects, the siren, animals. Maybe Architects heard that siren and were like, get them on the fucking tour. Horny microscopic ants. Okay.
Either the church is true or it is a fraud. It is the church and kingdom of God.
This is very similar to one of the Architect songs off of All of Our Gods Have Abandoned Us, right? Isn't there like a section like this?
To go through based on your faith, asking you to choose between belief and disbelief.
This part's sick. Yeah, very Avenged Sevenfold. This is what I mean, it's such a unique blend. It's like cum metal, but also technical. Progressive cum metal. The flow is immaculate. My body, mind and soul. Got that wrong. It's very good. The vocoder effect is very Sleep Token, but it sounds great. I mean, you can't sit here and say it's like a rip of Sleep Token. It really isn't, because it's so inspired by many other bands. You can hear it, like Avenged Sevenfold, and not even just Avenged. I guess just that like old school style of soloing from, I guess, you know, early 2010s, even early 2000s metalcore. It feels like a homage to those bands. So like clearly someone in the band, assuming maybe the guitarist, is a massive fan of metalcore and has been for the past couple of years. And then obviously blending that style with maybe someone who's more into the world of pop music and R&B, which is maybe the vocalist. I don't fucking know the actual makeup and the members and who's a fan of what, but that would make sense based on what we're hearing. Same again with like Sachi 6, where, you know, there is the guitarist who's clearly very inspired by the world of Thal and, you know, the darker sounds, Viljar to Humanity's Last Breath and all these fun Thal bands. And then you have Sachi 6, the vocalist, who maybe is taking a little bit more inspiration from the hip-hop and R&B side and pop music side, and you're having those two worlds collide together. So this is really interesting. This is the first time I've heard something like this being done, because we've heard the like really dark stuff, Thal, and then, you know, the pop music. I think Sachi 6 have done it the best so far. But this is like a massive mix-up of many different worlds, where it is, like I mentioned, the dark Thal sounds. It's not even just dark Thal, it's like just dark, heavier metal in general. We have metalcore, like old school sounding metalcore with some of the riffs. And then we have the really like processed vocals with all the like vocoder effects, very Sleep Token-esque. And it's in that sexy realm as well. So it's kind of just blending a lot of different sounds, which is really, really interesting. So yeah, cool fucking album so far. Are You There? It is obviously thematically running along the lines of religion, you know, to some degree. I haven't really locked into the lyrics just yet, so maybe on further listens. This sounds quite bright and hyper poppy. Not anymore, see what I mean? It's like the tones are all very like based in modern gent, which is very cool. It's like Periphery here. I'm expecting Spencer to come in here. Yeah! Interesting percussion being added, like marching band drums. Not as much into that song. Solid. Some interesting ideas. A lot of impact when that dropped. They're obviously fucking around with some of the production there to add a bit of an extra kick to that, which can sometimes be a little bit jarring, it's a little bit distorted, kind of takes you out of it a little bit, but just wasn't really that interested in how the song flowed in general. But some fun vocal moments. Again, it's quite experimental, which is refreshing to hear, but unfortunately with that experimental nature sometimes comes with misses, but it's more interesting to listen to than bands that are missing with the most generic structures ever, so I'll take it any day of the week, you know. Like if you're missing with just like a, you know, your standard pop structure song and it's just a metalcore song with a breakdown, it's just even more boring to listen to. At least this is like, I never really know which direction they're going to go, so it's just intrinsically more interesting. I like how I don't know which ones are singles either. I'm guessing this is a single because I had lyrics. I like this melody. The guitar is just slowly building that tension. There's just details instrumentally that you can hear these guys are like metalheads. The like lead guitar line running in the back as well. It's just like nice details that fill it out more. Still building. It's like alt ephemeral, that song. Where is this landing? Yeah, these boys are prog fans for sure. That main guitar line that's running throughout the entire song is so beautiful. Beautiful. That was a really good song. Probably, I still think Pure Leaf might be my favorite, but I've had the most time with that song as well. So we'll see, but I really like Burn the Witch. Assuming that was a single, because again, it doesn't have lyric, or it does have lyrics. This one was obviously an album track. We'll see.
Do you ever wonder if I'm okay without you to call? Do you ever wonder if I still have you up on my wall?
Some of the moments remind me of like a John Lewis ad. Man on the Moon, isn't that one of the John Lewis ads? It's a really like sad video. That's supposed to be happy, but strings. Accordion?
I haven't slept without hoping you would wake me
pretty fucking unique.
My heart can't beat this frost.
It's like Queen.
In my veins. And you, the walk that you took is just not afraid.
I feel like I'm in a fucking church ceremony right now. The way they harmonized that just felt like it was coming from like a church choir. Really, really cool.
Do you ever wonder if time can really heal everything?
Ooh, it's so delicate.
Do you ever wonder if all of my songs are about you?
This has Sleep Token qualities to it, I'm not gonna lie.
How come I can't connect with someone?
Like, not just sonically,
I'm playing
but like the aura of this is very Sleep Token-esque. Best way I can describe it.
lives in every moment that I share. Years go by, but I still bide my time. And one day I will find someone else worth sleeping by.
Yeah, it's oozing a bit of class right now, I'm not gonna lie. It's not just like, oh, the voice sounds like Sleep Token, it's the composition, the way the songs are built, and the choices sonically that they're doing is just like... How can I describe this? Sometimes it's really hard to describe these things because I have this like many pictures that are floating around my mind, but it's almost like I'm on Elden Ring, right? Or one of these games that you explore maps, where the map is like completely blanked out. And I've no idea where I'm going, because it's quite unique compositionally. So I'm walking, and I keep clicking select or pause to see the map, and it's unlocking new parts of the map. And that map is already there, it exists, and it makes sense. Someone's put thought into it. But I don't know this part of the map yet. So I'm kind of putting my faith and trust in the developers who've made this map. This is the worst analogy of all time, but it's still kind of how my brain feels about it. I'm blind and I'm being guided along by these guys with total trust that they know that what's coming next is going to make sense, if that makes sense. Because obviously that happens all the time with albums, but a lot of generic albums, you can guess what's coming next. Like, you know, as you open up the map, you're like, oh, well, I knew there was going to be a big tree here. It's just obvious. This is so... Okay, I maybe just have to abandon the Elden Ring thing because it's just a terrible example. The point I'm trying to make is that I have like full faith in them doing the right thing next, even though it's going to be something that maybe I haven't heard before. It's very unique. And that's what Sleep Token have done for years, where they'll guide you into territories that like you haven't really heard done before. I mean, in the new album, it's maybe not as magical because it's more like pop based and it's very like braggadocious in parts. You know, some of the lyrics aren't as like clever and maybe as soul touching, and you know, they don't really reach too far down into the soul with some of the lyrics. Some of the songs they definitely do, but like the overall vibe of the song is, or the album, is a little bit more upbeat and poppy, where some of the darker albums like Sundowning and obviously Tomb, even Taking Back to Eden in times, they'll bring you to places that once you've heard it, you realize that that's the perfect decision to have been made in that moment compositionally, but you just never would have anticipated it. And this is what this album is doing to me a little bit in moments, especially this song. It's just kind of oozing a bit of class, you know? Certain little passages that I'm like, oh, we're here now? That makes perfect sense. And that's what I mean about the Sleep Token comparison in a way. Kind of hard to like put it into words. Apologies if that just didn't make any sense. But that is the beauty of something like this. It's very hard to capture these emotions and speak about them, which is why speaking about music is so fucking fun, because it's so easy to do because it's just like talking about your emotions, but because I'm so new to this and it's a first time listen, it's hard to fully capture exactly what the feelings are and getting them out there. It's cool though, clearly. I've got a lot to say. I really like that song though, it's very different. Guessing this was again another music video. What the fuck is going on? It's like Rain City Drive here. That's the Sleep Token swagger right there. That is fucking beautiful. Sick. Instrumentally, this one's grabbing me more. The melody's a bit clunky, the chorus a bit wordy. Doesn't really have a nice flow to it, but the rest of it, all this part is so cool. Piano coming back in again. Very jazzy. But it's also break beats at the same time. The guitars. There's a fun little like kind of scratchy dead note that they're using in that to give it a bit more of a bounce. And the little dissonant note at the end. Yeah, it's very like is a proggy guitarist for sure. Like he's a fucking prog metal fan for sure, and also a like old school metalcore fan from the other songs. Cool song. I kind of got a little bit lost in like trying to find the guitar rhythm there, so I wasn't fully locked in, but I like it. Again, kind of dark synths, pretty cool. guess they're whammy pedaling that? Are they sliding? I don't know. I haven't got a whammy pedal, so I don't really know. Or stepping on it. They're definitely whammy pedaling it. Fun lick. Very experimental. Speaking of experimental. Heaviest part of the album so far. Nice. Woo! Okay, see, this is what I mean. They've like harnessed the power of cum metal, but also said, I'm gonna harness the power of all the heaviest bands in the scene, like your fucking, I don't know, your Graphic Natures and Diamond Constructs and Alpha Wolves and all these fun bands that use all the pitch shifting and shit like that. And they've just combined them together. And this is what I mean. We've kind of like peaked. Where do we even go from here in terms of like modern adjacent subgenres to the overall metal bracket? I don't even know what the fuck this is anymore. We've gone so far in both directions of pop music, R&B, hip-hop music, and then heavy music, and we've clashed them together, both at the very opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of the heaviness and the pop aspects of it, that I don't really see how we've kind of peaked. We've been teetering around with this idea for years. Like obviously Sleep Token started introducing it and becoming popular. Bad Omens have been doing it. So many bands are doing it. Those bands get really popular. Everyone's like, oh, let's stop being a metal band and let's just become an alternative band that doesn't actually really fit any one particular genre, because we're pulling influences from all sorts of places. And now we've just got like the peak on both ends, and I don't really see how we evolve it from here. I mean, there's going to be a lot of bands that do sound like this over the next coming years, for sure. But I'm curious to see how we evolve from here. It sounds amazing. I really fuck with this. It's experimental for sure. But I feel like we're seeing it with, again, Sachi 6 is doing it. They're just pulling from opposite ends of the spectrum and colliding them together, and we're now here. And it sounds fucking great. Don't get me wrong. I love this sound. But I think we're at like a pivotal turning point eventually. It's going to come around where we can't actually do any more genre blending. It's like we've peaked at both ends. We've gone so far in one direction, so far in the other direction, and we've crashed them together. And, you know, now if a band does the genre blending and it's not as heavy or it's not as poppy, it's not going to compute as well, because we've already had the polar opposite ends as far as possible clash together, you know? But I really like that song. I like how heavy they fucking got. I really like it. And this is what I am enjoying about this so far, is that they're doing the like cum metal thing, but they're also making it fucking appealing to people who like heavy music, like really fucking heavy music. Because like Dayseeker and shit like that, for example, are really good like melodically and vocally, but they've lost a lot of their appeal to like metalheads, I suppose. It's just become this own alternative cum metal thing. Whereas this is still fucking heavy, you know? I like how the album's like getting progressively heavier.
It's just that I love her. I'm sorry you all had to suffer. Everyone dies for her. Hunter, caught in a spell. I love her. Everyone else can suffer.
Very enjoyable album so far. Very enjoyable. This band definitely has something. Definitely has something. I'll be returning to a lot of these songs for sure. Just quirky, interesting songs, but also melodically interesting and like compositionally very, very different at times. Production choices are really, really unique as well. With the whole like church vibe that they got going on, the gospel feel. Very interesting. Such an obvious concept. I feel like it's probably something that's thematically been done many times before, but just the way they're incorporating the actual like feel and the soul of like the church vibe to it is pretty cool. I think Everyone Dies will go playlist as well. I'll listen to that again. Really fucking dynamic album. So many different twists and turns, unexpected moments, different influences popping up here and there. Right on cue. Back to that like Avenged Sevenfold feel. That is a very Avenged Sevenfold melody as well, vocally. Damn, Daniel. Super fucking unique song. It's like Periphery now. Yeah, crazy. It's like Periphery, Avenged Sevenfold, and Sleep Token all being crashed together with like other more generic, modern, like sexy metal bands clashing together is a crazy combo. They've pulled it off.
Back home, but it's cool, I'll probably see you soon. I can't go to that thrift store without smelling sex in the dressing room. Can't hear my favorite films for.
This is obviously a remaster of an older song, right?
It's kinda brutal, you won't let me lose. As if you ain't 1,000 miles back home.
Okay, this is like a demo from their first album. It's almost like Youngblood. Has a punk feel to it. Not really my jam, but an interesting choice to put at the end of the album. I guess a bit of a callback to some of the OG fans. If you can call them OGs, this came out in like 2 years ago. A little bit out of place, that felt. I mean, it does make sense that was from a different project to feel a little bit out of place. They just like stuck it on there as a remaster. Feels more like something that would be added to like a deluxe version of the album after the fact. I think Writing Goodbyes maybe would have made more sense as a track to finish up on. Just it felt a little bit more in line with the rest of the album, like sonically. But a really, really good album. A really good introduction to the band Holywatr for me. I've kind of mentioned a lot of my main talking points. I mean, clearly from the eye test, you can see, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of 11 songs added to my liked tracks, which doesn't necessarily mean they'll be like a playlist forever, but it's tracks that I feel are instantly worth returning to. Give Me a Show wasn't bad. None of the songs were really like at all anything that I wouldn't return to, so that's really good. I guess it's a good sentiment to have coming out of an album where I'm like, there was nothing I hated on it. So it's quite an easy album to just start from the beginning and go through. Yeah, I think the main takeaways for me is that it's really nice and refreshing to hear a band that can clearly do and is clearly taking influence from the current state of modern metal, and I don't mean state in a negative way, I just mean like currently what is really, really popular, which is the overall like vibe, which is really hard to like, I guess, pinpoint. Music that is very much so focused more so on like vocal melodies and vocal deliveries, and then it also happens to have, you know, 8-string guitars, 7-string guitars that are adding like walls of sound to crescendo certain moments in a song, but they're not necessarily the main focal point of the song. It's more about the vocals and the vibe and all of the post-production, all the synths and everything that's being added in. This is really refreshing to hear that they can do that, and they're definitely like taking inspiration from that current like popular sound, but they're deciding to not be cookie cutter about it, which is where a lot of bands end up falling into, which is why it can be really, really boring to like listen to a lot of the modern core bands and alternative bands, because they're all like seemingly quite uninspired and just doing what's popular because that's what's going to get them streams. Whereas ironically, the opposite is true. When bands do something like this is why they're more popular, is because they're taking what is popular. You know, they've got their finger on the pulse. Clearly, they're clearly inspired by some of the bigger bands, but they're doing something that is rather fucking unique. They have all the sexy vocals, they have all the really cool production, and it's not just like your stereotypical like insert splice synth here or whatever, sample here that we've all heard a million times before. Add the like hyper pop kind of backing synths to make it real bubbly and fun, and then have the big riser before your breakdown, and then have a call out. It's not that at all. It's still quite technical. Like musically, instrumentally, it's very technical in some parts. It's not often that albums make me want to like whip out the guitar, but there was a lot in this that's like made me want to start playing the guitar straight after this and practice, which is for like an album that would be considered like a sexy modern band. That's not something you normally would come out thinking. It'd be more like, oh, I can't wait to listen to these songs again because they're so catchy. This has equal parts like catchy moments and like really interesting melodies and deliveries, but also has really fun guitar licks and riffs that inspire me to go and pick up the guitar, because clearly their guitarist or someone in the band is very inspired by a lot of the like, I guess, older school metalcore, but also some like prog bands. I'm hearing like a lot of Periphery in moments. You have Avenged Sevenfold, which I guess is more in the category of like the older school metalcore, like classic metalcore with all these like fun riffs. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think a big interesting talking point from this is that like, I'm not saying where do we go from this as if we've like peaked and this is the end, but it does feel like over the past couple of years we've been building towards this moment where we've eventually gotten to it, and it feels like it's all come on very quickly, where bands are now at the very pinnacle of what is possible in terms of like heaviness in the guitars, and then we're also clashing the other world of what is the most catchy and most mass appealing sound in R&B and hip hop, and we're just like clashing those sounds together. And now we're here. We're hearing the bands like Sachi 6, like I mentioned. We're hearing this band. There's loads of other bands. There's a lot of bands that are falling by the wayside to me. I don't want to like specifically keep calling out certain bands, but I feel like Dayseeker are a great example of that, where they've kind of fallen into this like octane core, really generic post metalcore band, where they were like more metalcore leaning, and they've always done the production and fun elements like that, but it's just gotten very stale. And I don't mean just Dayseeker. I think they're just probably the most popular example of a band that I can think of that has just kind of become one of those bands that I'm like, oh, they're just kind of formulaic pop bands now that aren't very interesting. They've kind of like had their sound neutered because of everything that's going on in the scene. This is quite the opposite. This doesn't feel like it's had its Mickey chopped off, aka neutered. It's not really what neutered is, Jesus Christ, but you get the point I'm trying to make. This feels very much so still very human in ways, you know? It feels very processed in other ways, but that blend is very interesting to me. So a solid fucking album, really good introduction to the band. I am looking forward to spinning some of those tracks again. Off the top of my head, I want to say that maybe I'm looking forward to hearing Wake Up again. That was really, really interesting. Not really like heavy at all, but some of the melodies were so beautiful. So I'm very happy to give this album first Holywatr album. Let me see if I can get this screen right on a first go. I get this wrong every single time, and we've got it right in the first one. So on album of the year here, that rhymed, I'm going to rate this album. Again, I don't know what the general consensus is around this album in terms of ratings. I will give this album Deo Gratis from Holywatr. It kind of annoys me how they've spelled their name, but it's kind of funny. Water. I'll say this is not my favorite album of the year so far, but it's definitely up there. I think this is probably an 84 for me. possibly get better on more listens. I think it will. First listen, I'm going 84. Boom. 74 overall from the people. Rating 84. I'm bringing that overall score up. Let's see it move. It didn't move at all. Never mind. 25 ratings. I might be one of the highest. Nope, 92. Never mind. There's more. Anyways, that's all from me, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Follow me on Patreon and all that fun stuff. You can't really follow someone on Patreon. You can subscribe on Patreon. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, let me know what you think of the album in the comments down below. I'm gone. I need to go to the toilet. Goodbye.